So Melania Trump puts out her new First Lady portrait, and she looks like $1,000,000. She's wearing a tuxedo jacket, and she's got her hands on a shiny desk. It's a power shot, and it's in black and white, and she looks absolutely stunning, as she always does. But I love it. You know, she just looks like a boss, frankly. Okay, so here's Vogue reacting to it. Melania Trump looked more like she was guest starring on an episode of The Apprentice than assuming the role of First Lady. Trump's clothing certainly didn't help the boardroom pastiche. The choice to wear a tuxedo as opposed to a blazer or blouse made Trump look more like a freelance magician than a public servant. It's perhaps unsurprising that a woman who lived in a gold-encrusted penthouse whose fame is so intertwined with a reality television empire would refuse to abandon theatrics, even when faced with 248 years of tradition. And then they talk about how she sort of tried the first time around in 2017 with her first portrait, which was in color, with her face airbrushed into oblivion, something they would never say about Jill Biden. And now they conclude with, now attempting a no-nonsense businesswoman approach in her situationally inappropriate tuxedo, it seems that Melania Trump still struggles with sartorial messaging. Now, the woman who wrote this, I mean, she must be a style icon, right? It's got to be somebody who's like been on the cover of Vogue herself, who's in charge of their product line. No, it's a 26-year-old named Hannah Jackson, who's a fashion writer for Vogue, who lives in Brooklyn, New York, who writes, here she is. Look at this. This is the woman who thinks she's in the position to judge Melania. She says when she was offered her job as a fashion writer at Vogue a year and a half ago, she was a part-time dance teacher who had just emptied her savings to move across the country. This woman's done nothing. Do you hate Melania? You're hired. You're the one for us. Okay, I'm almost done. Now contrast that. It's not the same writer, but the same magazine, to what they wrote about Bianca Censori, the literally naked wife of Kanye West, Ye West, at the Grammys. She literally wore nothing, and they were there for it. This writer's named Raven Smith, and she writes all about how somehow this was empowering. She describes it as a slip so sheer, so without undergarments, that it exposed her uncensored nudity beneath. So a slip, okay. She writes about how, look, fashion for me has always celebrated a body's sensuality rather than the unimaginative base-level provocation of a woman's nakedness. But she goes on to say, while I'm not necessarily advocating for snatch on the red carpet, it could also be argued that it's Bianca's body and therefore Bianca's choice. I hate to state the obvious, but a woman can wear whatever she wants. A woman can wear as many sheer bodysuits and thongs as she likes. A woman can court the male gaze. A woman can make a zillion choices we wouldn't personally make ourselves and still not have that mean she's being coerced or a victim or that something predatory has happened. And then she writes that because Bianca's not speaking up, because we're bereft of any deeper motivations, the silence has us scrabbling for answers of our own. But maybe that's exactly what Bianca wanted. You see, that was empowering, but Melania Trump is a pathetic magician who is performing theatrics and is situationally inappropriate. But Bianca is totally appropriate and a badass girl boss.
You know, that I think everybody understands that Melania is the most photogenic, fashion conscious, but also in a very positive way since Jackie Kennedy. We've never seen the last time we had, fair or not, the last time we had anybody that glamorous, attractive, knowing about fashion, good taste was Jackie Kennedy. And they went crazy over Jackie Kennedy. I can remember as I was a kid, every magazine had Jackie Kennedy. Jackie did this, Jackie wore this. And she actually dressed a lot like Melania. And then when they talk about the body, it was just 5 years ago, Megyn, we heard about objectifying women during the Me Too thing, that you don't objectify a woman by just gazing at her body, or you don't do that, you male predators. And so the problem with all of this is that writer can't decide whether feminism is a Victorian prudery, that you look at a woman or you touch her shoulder and that is a a mortal sin and you're going to destroy your career, or you can get naked and you can be more provocatively sexually than any time in the history of America. The way young girls dress today, you know that better than I do. Everybody knows that. They're the most provocative dress. They're being encouraged to dress like that. At the same time, the feminist movement was saying to men, if you dare look at that, and they want you to, and this writer is saying that now she wants the male gaze, but if she actually got the male gaze, then
right.
that person he would be canceled. Like,
it's
Me
okay
Too.
for the woman to want it, but it's not okay for the men to do it.
Yes, and that's what destroyed Me Too, and that's what's destroying all these internal contradictions, because they're all contrary to human nature. We have rules and laws against people walking around naked for a very good reason, because we don't want people to provoke people sexually, and we don't want to see people's private parts in public. No one wants to see that, and that's why for centuries there's been laws against nudity, and as revolutionaries, they think they can break these ancient customs and traditions that were never based, they think, on anything other than oppression, when they were all based on human nature. And we inherited all of this tradition, and it's served us very well. And the final thing I say about, when we're getting back to Elon Musk, I have never thought, I was thinking that when we were talking about the hatred of Elon Musk, we have never seen anybody, whether you like him or not, we have never seen anybody like him in our lifetime that broke into the big three auto industry. No one is there. They've tried to do that. Studebaker, American Motor, nobody could do it. He did it. Nobody has supplanted NASA like he did. He's a one-man NASA. He's saved NASA. He's probably going to save these poor astronauts that were abandoned by the Biden space program. And then he just revolutionized social media. Had he not bought X, I don't think Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, all those tech giants would have defected to Trump. They would have censored the news. They would have had the FBI. He is a Michelangelo. He's really a Renaissance person.
We continue to face uncertainty when it comes to the economy, with a perfect storm brewing as Social Security and Medicare hit a breaking point, as the largest generation is hitting retirement. A smaller workforce means a smaller tax base. You pair that with our growing national debt and our rising cost of living, and we could have a very big problem on our hands. So what are you doing now to protect your family for the future? Are you diversifying? Gold can be very useful to you in this. It can be a safe haven in hard economic times. And Birch Gold has a super great reputation, and they will make it very easy to diversify a portion of your savings, if you so choose, into physical gold. Birch Gold will help you transition an existing IRA or 401k, in whole or in part, into an IRA in gold, and it will not cost you 1 cent out of pocket. Protect your future today. Text MK to 989898 and get your free info kit on gold and a copy of The Ultimate Guide for Gold in the Trump Era, with a foreword by Donald Trump Jr. There's no obligation, just information. Birch Gold has earned the trust of countless Americans looking to safeguard their savings. You just text my initials, MK, to the number 989898 today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.